Hi, my name is Pete Hahn, and thank you for watching this tutorial video. Be sure to visit www.hahn-tech.com for the full library of video tutorials. I hope this video increases your knowledge and helps you become more efficient with this topic, whether for home or work. Please support this channel by sharing these videos with your friends and colleagues. Hi guys, welcome to today's video. This video, being published in February of 2017, comes after a slight pause. The last video I published was in October of 2015. However, I have been very busy with the Hahn-Tech website. I've added a Q&A forum. I've added frequently asked questions. I've added a reading list. And since adding the Q&A forum, I've been very busy responding to dozens and dozens of questions being asked by our viewing audience. And I'm very grateful for everybody's participation. And before we get into today's video and the content of today's video, I'm going to show you the website. I'm going to show you where to find some stuff. In particular, this video is a part 2 of a previous version. We did this video about the high and low of the day. It's an intraday indicator meant for 5 minute, 1 minute, 15 minute, anything intraday time frame. And what it does, as you can see, is it plots a green line at the top for the daily high and a red line at the bottom for the daily low. And it has a start and an end point, and it has a setting that allows you to do the pre-market, the extended hours I should say. In this case we're looking at the futures. And it also has some chart labels up in the upper left that give you some data about today's price structure. So the original video, part 1, I had this indicator, and the high-low plots would plot on every single day of the viewable chart area. And so what we have here is an upgraded version that only plots the high-low alert on the number of bars that you want to view. In other words, we can clean up the chart so that you can view the historical chart and not see all of these lines and the chart bubbles and everything like that. So you can see it on the current day only, or you can have it say, okay, the last 3 days of chart data, let's display it on that. I'll show you how those settings work. Then I'll also show you how to get to the original video so that you can see in a little bit more detail how this indicator works. So let me go ahead and get the website up here, and let me explain a few things and show you how to get to that video, and then we'll get into the content of this video. And here we are at the front page of the Hahn-Tech website. If you have not visited our website recently, then you will see that we've made some upgrades to the website. The front page now has a focus on Thinkorswim. It used to have a sort of a hodgepodge of different things that I really intended this to be about. And then what happened was the viewing audience said, we want to see a lot more Thinkorswim than we want to see spreadsheets and other items. So I decided to customize this and make it more in tune with what our audience is seeking. So let's see, the next thing I want to show you is this is how you get to the video that precedes the one I'm going to show you today. So you've got right here the Thinkorswim alert, high-low, and you can see how you can navigate to it. This is the menu on the left-hand side, and you can see this is the item that we're on right now, the one in blue. And to get there, all you do is you go to free tutorials, you go to charting, and then once you go to charting, you see that's what we're at the top of the tree here is Thinkorswim charting. Then you just go down to toss alert on high-low. Okay, and then that's how so you can view that video, and that video then has a link where you can get the original code, but I'm sure you're going to want to stick around to the end of this video where we're going to give you the link to get to the upgraded version, because I'm pretty sure you're going to prefer the upgraded version over the original. So that's how you get to the original. I want to show you a couple other things then just to give you an update on what's going on in the web page. So for instance, we've got frequently asked questions. I just looked it up. We've got about 22 individual FAQs listed here, and it's searchable. So if you want to see something on the TTM squeeze, I'm just going to put in the word squeeze, then it's searchable. So there's your frequently asked question hits for that phrase. So go ahead and use that to locate the items of interest for your own studies. Next, I want to show you a couple of particularly popular posts. And we've got here, this was somebody posted, they wanted to see inside days entry prices on chart. And this is very interesting. I really enjoyed working on this, and the person had a very good, well, I shouldn't say very good, I'm like qualifying it good or bad. It's very useful what this person was asking for, and they wanted to see, if you look at the chart, this is the screenshot that the viewer provided, and you can see how they drew in these lines and said this is kind of how we want it to be. So I'll close that and go back to, so you can see then this is my response, and you can see that I provided a couple of different sections of code. This is the one for running scans, and then I've got another one for plotting on the chart, because he also wanted a chart version, not just a scan version. So we provide both a scan and a chart version here, and you can just copy and paste that code into your Thinkorswim platform. And here's a screenshot that I provided the viewing audience so that they could see exactly how the plots turn out. And let's see if we can scroll down here and see the person was very excited about what we posted there. Then there was an issue, right? So he said, "Oh, wait a minute, it's not showing." And so I had to remind him we have an offset set there, depending on where his inside candle appeared on the chart. So sorry guys, I'm getting a little bit too much into detail perhaps, but I really want to show you how useful this question and answer forum is. I want to encourage you guys to come in and participate, ask your questions. You'll get answers, or you'll get an answer that says, "I don't know, I haven't figured it out." But at least it'll be documented, and someday sooner or later I'll find an answer and hopefully be able to respond. So here's another one I wanted to point out to you, one that's been very popular, and this one is how to set up a conditional order for buying options. And again, I felt this was really, really useful. The question the person asked, I can see how they're actually wanting to put this into use. I'll let you go ahead and read through this stuff, but I wanted to make sure that I put in some disclaimers here about liquidity, being careful about your order types, okay? And then we went ahead and gave him the code. That's as simple as it is. And then some screenshots here to show exactly how to build the what he requested, how to build it in the conditional order menu. So go ahead and check that out, guys, when you get a chance. It's right there in the topic of frequently asked questions. Okay. And let's see, was there anything else to show you? No. There's a lot more on this website now than there ever used to be. And if all you're doing is viewing our YouTube videos, you're missing a ton of fresh, new, searchable content via that Q&A forum and the frequently asked questions. So get to our website, check it out. It's really going to be a benefit to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this chart, and I'm going to show you the indicator, show you some of the settings. I'm going to show you what's different from this one compared to the previous one. Okay, so what we're viewing here is basically the cash session period of the Dow E-mini futures contract. That's what I've got these times set up for. You can see this candle over here is 9:30 in the morning, and the end over here is 1600 in the afternoon. That's 4 p.m. Now this is Eastern time. I've got my chart set to display Eastern time, and I'll show you in the study settings. I'm going to go to Studies. I'm going to go to Edit Studies, and then from there I'm going to go ahead and click the gear icon and open up the settings. And here you see the market open is set to 9:30, and the market close is set to 1600. That's how we set the beginning and end period. You can adjust that, and it will track an alert on fresh highs and lows during the day based upon whatever time frame you put for market open and market close. And then if you wanted to do, for instance, the extended hours, let's say you wanted to pick up, let's say 9 o'clock in the evening through to 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, there's midnight occurs between that, and there's a day change. So we change from one day to the next. Little trick that I use here is you just change that to overnight, and then in the overnight setting, then you're able to change it. Just remember it's military time, so like 9 p.m. would be 9, 10, 11, 2100 hours, right? So it would be 2100, and then you'd have 6 a.m., so that would be 600 hours, okay? So just keep that in mind. And here is the new setting, the number of days. Now, number of years, that only comes into play like if you're looking at charts on January 3rd, okay? So you might need to change the number of years to 1 when you're just like in the first week of a new year. Number of days tells us how far back we're going to plot the study. So let's go ahead and cancel. I'm not going to change any settings here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on the bottom, the time range here. I'm going to double click on that, and that's going to zoom out the chart so we get the broadest view possible. Okay, so now that we've got the full view we can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 days where the indicator is being plotted. But wait, remember the setting was set to 5 days. Why is it not plotting on Friday? Well, unfortunately, when it's counting back the number of days, you're also including in that the weekends. Even though the weekends aren't plotted on the chart, it's still picking that up. So really the 5th day is Sunday. You'd have to go 6 to get to Saturday, and then 7. So if you change that setting to 7, then you'd see the indicator start to plot on Friday. So we'll go to Studies, Edit Studies. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to decrease this just so you can see. I'm going to put it to 2 and hit OK and apply and OK. And so now you can see that we're only plotting it on 3 days. Okay, so and I know I just set that to 2 and it's plotting on 3 days. That's okay. Just let's watch this. It's Studies, Edit Studies. Let's go ahead and change that to a 1. It's been a while since I updated this code, and I think what's doing is that setting is telling you how many days previous to the current one to also include in the plot. Did I say that correctly? So really you want to set it to 0 to plot only today, and then you would be able to increase it to 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 depending on how many days back you wanted to plot it. So the other thing that I wanted to mention is that it cleans up the rest of the chart. If the previous version, which I'm going to show you next, would plot these lines continuously right along with the price action and really muddy things up pretty bad. Let me show you what that looked like so that you can see the improvement. So I'll double click here and then I'll zoom in, and you can see it just plots every single day. There's no way to control it. And then you can see how, let me zoom in on this so you can see really what's going on. You see how the high-low, anytime outside of that time span that you put into the settings, you know, in this case 930 to 1600 hours, it plots those high-low lines along the price action. It just muddies up the chart something fierce. And at the time when I originally published this, I didn't have the knowledge to be able to take that out. And what happened is, as I've been working on projects for individual viewers, and I have done tons of those things. In fact, guys, I'm actually earning my living now since September on not just the advertising revenue, which is very, very small right now for the website and the YouTube channel, but mainly from the side jobs that I'm doing, the custom projects where you guys are emailing me your specifications and we're sharing screenshots, and I develop the indicator for you or alert or strategy, and then we arrive at a price and I deliver the final product. And so that's how I'm earning my living right now, and I'm really grateful that I'm able to spend all of my time working on refining my tools and delivering you guys the best tools that I can imagine. And so that's what I did. As soon as I learned a new technique on how to clean this thing up, I decided to share it with you guys. So here it is. We're going to give it away free for you guys, and we're going to post a link here. It's going to be in the upper left hand corner. Make sure you're on a desktop computer viewing this. The annotations in YouTube will not display on a mobile device, and if you still don't see the link in the upper left, then consider trying a different web browser, or change the settings. Maybe go to default settings on the web browser that you're using, because there are settings that can prevent these annotations from appearing. So guys, that's all I've got to share with you. Be sure to remember that the file that you are downloading is not a text file, it's a study file. You need to import it into your Thinkorswim platform. Those of you who have accessed and downloaded and installed all of our other indicators that we provide for free, you already know the process. But if you're brand new and this is your first video of ours that you're watching, just remember you got to download and save that to your computer and then import it. We've got a video that describes that step. We're not going to repeat those instructions for every video. So if you have any issues, just shoot us a note. There's lots of different ways to contact us. You can leave a comment at the bottom of the video. You can use a contact form on our About page. You can drop a note in the frequently asked questions or the Q&A forum. So guys, that's all I've got for you today. Glad to be back publishing videos. I've got so much more material left, and you guys are going to be excited about some of the premium indicators that I'm going to be rolling out. I've learned some really cool tricks, and I'm really anxious to show them off and get them into you guys' hands. So, all right guys, take care everyone. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching this tutorial video. Be sure to visit www.hahn-tech.com for the full library of tutorials. I hope this video increases your knowledge and helps you become more efficient with this topic, whether for home or work. Please support this channel by sharing these videos with your friends and colleagues. Thanks, and take care.